Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malaki Bashar. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahushua. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, zealous and on fire and diligent and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the Salakia. Shalom to everybody tuning in live and the elected vessels scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Yolanda Caesar, Shalom, Anthony Knox, Don Israel Tamid, Brother Ezekiel, Shalom King, Ephraimite Ak, Jadiz Delphius, Kim Israel, Joshua Brewer, Shalom King, Resban Craft, Monoton, Mono Not Mono, Low Key 1430, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Right? This is an early cold cut through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Wamalak Yabashai, a message to you leaders. Right? This is a message to you leaders that the Most High has set up over at the flock, that the Most High has made overseers and shepherds over the flock. Rather, it's the Most High gave you 3 men, rather you have thousands of men in your congregation, rather you have hundreds of men, you have 10 men, rather you have 5 men, rather like I brought up before, you don't have to necessarily be a leader over 200 men to be classified as a leader. Every brother is a leader in his own right that the Most High has set up. If you're a father, you are automatically put into that category, right? You're set up to lead your woman and your children to righteousness, man. If you're a brother, you're set up to lead, man, to guide and to help and to lead the flock into the knowledge of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah by going out there in the highways and byways and doing his work. So again, don't look at the word leader as a man that stands on a mountain and has men bow down and submit to him. Right? Think about our forefathers, man, Yahweh Shai, and the servitude and the ability that he had to submit himself for the welfare of his flock. So we're going to go into this. This is a message for you leaders, man. First and foremost, let's go to the book of Luke, the 12th chapter. A message for you leaders, man. This is who the Most High has set up in the last days, man. Remember, before I get that, let's go to Obadiah, right? Let's go to Obadiah chapter 1 and 21. So Yahweh Shai, this isn't 4,000 years ago where the Most High just set up Moses, Aaron, and you just got 70 elders of Israel. Now you have men all throughout the nation that the Most High is dealing with. He's not dealing with one man, right? And everybody got to check in with him, right? He's not dealing with one congregation, and everybody got to just submit themselves to them, right? The Most High has saviors. This is Obadiah 1 and 21. And saviors, Slakia, shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So saviors is plural, right? When you read the book of Judges, you have many saviors. You had Othniel, you had Samson, you had Barak, you had Jephthah, you had these men that the Most High set up to deliver Israel in a state of our oppression and affliction. And then these last days, the Most High is pulling men from different walks of life, different religious backgrounds, different political backgrounds, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different lifestyles of sin and wickedness, and raising these men up to be saviors. A savior is somebody, and the name speaks for itself, a savior is somebody that's set up to save and deliver somebody or a particular group of individuals from harm or ruin or oppression, right, or straits. So the Most High has multiple saviors set up. And if you were set up, now again, I spoke about the definition of a leader, but if you were set up to lead men, then you have a high calling, and it is not something to be taken lightly, and it is not something that should be forgotten. Day by day, it should be on your mind that the Most High has set me up to be able to serve the sheep and to feed the flock. right? Let's go to the book. Another precept in mind. Lord willing, it comes back to me, but let's go to. Actually, I wanted Luke. That's what I want off. Precept. I want Luke. Right, one of my favorite precepts in Luke. Luke chapter 12 and 47. Right, this is the book of St. Luke, chapter 12 and 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So you got certain men, they know the will of the Most High. They know exactly what their office is, and they know what the expectations are. And they don't prepare themselves by studying, by praying, by fasting, by examining themselves, right? By serving the sheep, by feeding the flock, by guiding them to water, and they don't prepare their spirit. What's going to happen to them? The Most High said those men are going to be beaten with many stripes. Now, when you go into the law, you read about you can be beaten with many stripes or a few stripes. You cannot exceed 39 save one, lest thy brother seem violent to thee, right? So that's the law, right? About getting beaten with stripes or with the rod. This is verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes, so if you didn't know the will of the Most High, but you still committed the same transgression, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And unto whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. So if you were called and you were given gifts and talents, and you were given particular wisdom and knowledge and understanding that the Most High has given you, and that men may see in you, and that the Most High sees in you, you're going to be asked to do a lot more, right? And this is everything in life, man. This is in the world of the workplace. This is in the world of sports. I mean, these guys, they draft number one picks all the time. You think they draft these guys and ask them to do a little bit? No, some of these franchises, they're collapsing. They're in the rebuilding stage. They take these guys, and these guys turn the whole organization around. They ask these guys to come in early. We need you to watch film. We need you to do this. We need you to go out here. You need to speak to the media, and we need you to score these touchdowns or win this game. You know, these guys are a big deal. And they were given much, man. These guys get multi-million-dollar contracts, and they don't get that to sit on the bench. They don't get these guys and give them $250 million guaranteed, and he's sitting somewhere playing damn Scrabble. And these guys they have a lot of requirements, man. They committed much. There's a lot of expectations, especially for you leaders, man. There's a lot that the Most High requires of you. You can't do what everybody else do. You can't do the bare minimum. You can't be an average Israelite, man, if the Most High called you to be a leader. And chiefly you brothers that are over cities, man. I don't care what congregation you're in, man. You wasn't called to just do the bare minimum. The Most High, he expects more out of us, man. Right? Leading by example, more reading, more studying, more praying, more fasting, more serving the flock, more checking on brothers, more praying for brothers, more vision, more understanding, plans to help and build up the nation. These are the things the Most High requires of us, man. Right? Being a leader is you can't be a leader in name, right? But there's no actions on how you serve the flock, right? Before I get that, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, right? This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings. I'll make sure the screen is showing. Okay, hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. So this is speaking directly to men in authority. This isn't to the slave, to the guy picking the berries and gathering after the grape gatherers on a literal level. See, these scriptures are written to the entire nation of Israel. But when you dive deeper into it, you understand they were written for the men of the Lord, right? The men of Yahweh Shah. Then when you dive deeper, they were really written for the prophets and the apostles. So there's certain precepts that are applicable to a particular class of people. Like anybody can read Proverbs 31 about the virtuous woman. right? That applies to the woman and to the man to show his woman how to be a virtuous woman. When you begin to read other accounts like First Timothy, the 3rd chapter, Titus, the 1st chapter, certain things are for a brother that's in that office or striving to be in that office. He can understand that more. That's written for that brother, right? To learn how to be a bishop isn't written for the lukewarm brother who doesn't know what's going on, who doesn't want to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's written for the brother who understands what the office is in that calling. The office of a deacon, written First Timothy, the 3rd chapter, is not written for the brother who wants to smoke weed and not read, and he wants to get high and read at the same time. That's not for that brother. That's for the brother that's growing in his knowledge, that's sincere, that the Most High is increasing. That was written for him so he can learn. And for the brothers that are in positions of leadership to know how to decide who's going to be worthy to be in these particular offices. Right? So same thing with Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. This is written to kings and the judges of the ends of the earth. So you brothers that are in positions of leadership, this should hit home. That's the point. This should hit home. The Lord said, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth." So pay attention. Give ear, Slakia. Give ear, you that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. And power was given you of the Lord, man. Right? And this is for you brothers in the camp. This is for you brothers that are in other congregations who may be tuning in. Right? Power was given you of Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, man. And this isn't something that you decided to do. You didn't have no choice. Right? If I'm the head of a camp and I'm somewhere in Montana and the Lord, and it's me and 5 brothers, and for some reason the Most High had things play out where I'm over the brothers and I'm here to help the brothers, and that power that the Most High saw that in you, man. He chose you and he gave you power. That power is of the Lord. Right? Remember, the Most High said, promotion cometh not. I believe that's Psalm 78. Right? Let's see if I can get that. Right? Maybe Psalms 75, right? If not, I'll just, for sake of time, right, pull that precept. Right? This is Psalms chapter, here it is, 75, Slack. It is Psalms chapter 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So being exalted, right, being put into positions of authority, anybody in life, I don't care what their occupation is or what field they're in, if they're in a position of authority, even if they're your so-called supervisor at the workplace, if they're your manager, if they're a CEO, the Most High set them up. He set up these men. It doesn't just happen by chance. It doesn't just happen due to the course of nature and the elements. The Most High, he's the judge. And sometimes the Most High sets up a man to bring him down, right? Sometimes the Most High sets up a man to be an example. Sometimes, things are different. But the point is, the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another, right? Who put down Pharaoh? Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua. Who put down Saul? Who set up David? Right? Who did these things, man? Who set up Moses and Aaron? Who set up the 70 of the elders, man? Who set up Eldad and Medad that prophesied? The Most High did that. All of the judges, who raised up Othniel? Who raised up Samson? Right? You get the point. The Most High puts down men that were in authority, and he'll set up another. Right? He'll set up another. So power is giving you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. And that should instill fear in your spirit. Because as quick as the Most High put you up, the Most High can take you down. There's a certain thing in certain jobs. They call it at will, right? Most jobs. What is at will employment? Right? Now, at will employment, this is in everybody's offer letter, unless you're under some contract or you just have outstanding skills, right? It reads, at will employment is a common employment arrangement in the United States that allows employers and employees to terminate their relationship at any time, right? An employer can fire an employee for any reason or no reason at all, as long as it doesn't violate the law, right? So guess what? You can get fired at your job any day, man. That's called at will. When you sign that offer letter, you got to read the fine print because they'll fire you, man. You say, well, hold on, I don't like this. I showed up on time and I don't get it. I did my, hey, look, let me show you your offer letter. You signed this said at will, right? We're not out, you're not under any contract. This isn't a 2-year contract, 36-month contract. Here it says at will. You sign here, you put your date. I sign here. It was nice to meet you. Here's this a cardboard box. Pack your stuff up, turn in your badge, and do what you got to do. Right? That happens every day at work. Same thing with this knowledge. This knowledge, you being a leader, this is at will, man. The Most High could let you go for any reason. So you should be on your P's and Q's. That's the point. Because he's going to do like at these jobs when they do a review. You might have a 30-day review, right? Then you might have your 30 days. They might check on you, how you coming along, how you transitioning, how's your onboarding process, so you finding everything all right, whatever. And then your 90 days. Okay, look, you've been here 90 days. You did your probation. Okay, you didn't call out. How many sick days did you use? Okay, you did use your vacation. Some people in their 90 days, they blow all their hours. And they let those guys go, man. Sometimes they don't wait till your 90th day. Then they might have a 6-month review, right? They might see you on camera still in the damn Skittles bag, man, from the break room, kicking a vending machine for a honey bun, right? Hey, they'll pull that up. They'll show you the pictures, man. If you had lewd text messages, you was texting the receptionist, freaking off, they'll have the screenshots. If you was late, 9 out of 10 days, hey, they'll pull your timestamps. Now look, you only work 4 hours. They search your works, man, and they'll let you go. Hey, how about Shmuel Shai? He's watching this thing, man. He's studying you brothers that are leaders, man. How much time you spend praying for the flock? That's on trial. The days that you fast for the flock, that's on trial. Your ability to serve and check on brothers, that's on trial. Right? To teach, that's on trial. To be a bishop, that's on trial. This is a big deal, man. Right? Let me read this one more time. For power is given you of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels, because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged the right, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. Right? So if you don't judge or right, if you have respect to persons, you don't show mercy, you're ruling with an iron fist, you became a tyrant, that's not judging the right, man. You're taking bribes. I'm not going to get all the accounts of Eli's sons and wicked leaders of Israel. They shed innocent blood. They set up idols. They fed themselves. You have to judge your right, meaning decisions that you make should be for the betterment of the flock and the body, whether everybody likes it or not. Right? And everybody is not going to agree with the decisions that you make. I don't like the way you did this. Maybe you should have did this. And hey, look, the Most High gave you that power, brother. If you were Montana and you were set up, brother, that's the call, man. Right? That's the call. And some of these coaches, man, they go for it on 4th down. And you got people watching. Oh, he should do that. He should kick the field goal, or he should do this. He should do this. You got even his coordinators, his team. I don't like that call. You got certain players that try to change the call, man. Here it is, the coach want to run the ball on fourth down, and you got the quarterback. He's shaking. I don't like that. He want to change the call. Hey, the coach. Hey, that's his call, man. That's why they pay him coach money. So if he want to go for the fourth down, hey, look, he got the final call. Now, that's what this means, right? When the Most High said that sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. And brothers have to judge it right and keep the law. And walk after the counsel of the Most High. And being a leader, of course, it's not just about, the point is you don't just have the final call. Remember, David, he consulted with all his captains of thousands and rulers about what he should do when it came to setting up the offices. I believe that's in First Chronicles, right? So you want to get counsel too, man. Again, them coaches had a final call, but some of them they talk to it's not what I want. Some of these guys they'll talk to the player. How's it looking out there? What do you see out there? Because they living in the game. I'm gonna have to get this precept. They playing the actual game, huh? They say, look, I know you out there in the field. You let me know what you see out there. Let me find this precept real quick. And because the coach, he's not out there, he may not see exactly what's going on, right? So the player, he'd be like, look, you know what? This is what I think we should do. And the coach, if he's a humble guy, he'll listen. He'll be considerate. He may not agree with it. He might not confirm that decision, right? But he'll agree with it. I mean, he'll Salakia, I want to get this precept. Salakia, about David, right? When David consulted with the captains of the thousands. This is in Chronicles. Right? I haven't brought this precept out in a while. Let me get this in the book of First Chronicles. Right? So bear with me. Right? If not, I'll move on till I find it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shan. I believe I'm looking right over it. Right? I believe it. Let's go back to First Chronicles 28. Right? So again, you want to be a man of counsel as well, right? You want to be a man of counsel, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shad, right? You don't want to just be a proud man and walking confidently. It's First Chronicles 13, Salakia, and walking confidently in a plain way, right? You want to be humble. First Chronicles 13:1. And David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds and with every leader. So he said, hey, look, here's the plan. What do you guys think? And David said unto the congregation of Israel, if it seem good unto you, and that it be of Yahweh our God, let us send abroad unto our brethren everywhere that are left in all the land of Israel, and with them also to the priests and Levites, which are in the cities and suburbs, that they may gather themselves unto us. And let us bring again the ark of our God to us, for we inquire not at it in the days of Saul. And all the congregation said that they would do so, for the thing was right in the eyes of all the people. Right? And that's wisdom and humility. And like I said, even certain jobs still do that, man. They'll give you, sometimes it's not, sometimes it is, but they'll give you a quote unquote an anonymous like survey letter. We're going to give everybody that works in the warehouse or that works out in the field or whatever job you have, man, in the office place, will give you a survey. We want you to write down what we could do better. And are you satisfied with your supervisor? Do you feel like your voice is heard? And they'll consult with the people, man. Now, do they always listen? Hey, that's a whole nother thing, right? But the point is, you want to have that spirit too, right? And David told the people what seemed best unto you that I would do, man. Right? Let's get another quick precept on that. right? Let's go to 2 Samuel. Right, the 2 Samuel chapter 18 and verse number 1. And David numbered the people that were with him and set captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them. And David sent forth the third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and the third part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and the third part under the hand of Ittai the Gittite. And the king said unto the people, I will surely go forth with you also. So he set everybody up and said, I'm going to go too. Let's do this. But the people answered, thou shalt not go forth. For if we flee away, they will not care for us. Neither if half of us die, will they care for us. But now thou art worth 10,000 of us. Therefore, now it is better that thou succor us out of the city. Meaning, no, David, you can't come with us to battle. Right? They're gonna come after you, and if you die, everything's over if you die. Right? You're getting a little older. Hey, look, you help us out the city. You give us directions, and you be the tactician from the outside. And the king said unto them, what seemeth you best, I will do. That's a humble thing to do, man. He could have said, I'm the king. Shut up. You heard what I said. He said, what seemeth you best, I will do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came out by hundreds and by thousands. So that's humble right there, man. That's how David, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemiel Shai, was able to secure a kingdom for 40 years. Right? Through seeking Yahweh Shemiel Shai, through counsel, humility, and servitude. Right? So let's go back to this in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6. Right? You have to walk after the counsel of the Most High. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and 5. But if you don't do that, here's what the Most High said. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. So if you're in a high place, if you're in a position of leadership, you're going to get quick judgment if you're going off. And your judgment's going to be more severe. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. What does that mean? For mercy shall soon pardon the meanest. Mean doesn't mean you got your arms folded. Oh, he's mean. He didn't give me a piece of his unleavened bread. He's a mean God. No. Put on your Eastern mind, your ancient mind, and go into the Hebrew, right? Let's go into this word mean. The word mean doesn't mean what you think it means, right? Let's go to Isaiah 2, right? And 9. I want to get this word in the Hebrew. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not. So mean and great are opposites. Mean, it means a low state, being of a lower state. A mean man might be a low-level guy. He might be slow. He might not have, the same talent or resources. He's being called a mean man, right? So let's go into this word in the Hebrew real quick, right? Put on your ancient mind, your Eastern mind. Now they just have man right here. I want mean, right? Because I see what the word they have right there already. All right. Let's see if I can get let's go to Isaiah 31. Right, here's another precept, right? The precept helps you within itself. Isaiah 31 and 8. Then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, and of the sword, not of a mean man, shall devour him, but he shall flee from the sword, and the young men shall be discomfited. So you got mighty men and you got mean men, right? Oh, here's the word. Again, they just have the word man, right? But when you go into that word in the Hebrew, it just means of a low estate or a kind of a low-level guy, right? That's what a mean man means. So in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and 6, when it says, for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, it means the guys that don't know what's going on, they get mercy, right? But the mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Why? Because they know what's going on, right? They know what's going on. They don't receive the same judgment. You don't get the same judgment as a brother that just came in his truth. He would be called a mean man. Came in this thing, because when we were first brought into this knowledge, We were still going off. We were still trying to find our way, still trying to walk and figure our feet out, man, and figure this thing out, you know. But now when you get to a certain level, the Most High holds you to a standard. And your expectations are a lot different. And you don't get that same level of mercy. That's for the guys that don't know what's going on. But if you're a mighty man or you're a leader, the Most High, he holds you to a higher standard. That's the point. Verse number 7. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. So the Lord don't care that you know all of the breakdowns. So he ain't going to judge you. The Lord don't care that you have a great memory. You can remember 10,000 precepts. He's not going to judge you. The Most High don't care that you have 4 wives and that you can get all these women. It doesn't mean the Most High is not going to judge you. He don't care how much money you got in your pocket, your fancy clothes. The Most High don't care. He's not like, wow, look at this guy. I've never seen a man like this. He made everybody, man. So anybody could get it. That's the point. Anybody could get it. Right? Verse number 8. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. So you brothers that are in authority, be mindful, man. You're held to a different standard. Your expectations are different because you were given a position of leadership. So the Lord said, learn wisdom and not fall away. And there's many righteous men. Read the book of 1 Samuel all the way to 2 Chronicles. Read these different men that went off, man. They were off. Learn how not to be like Ahaz. Don't be like Zedekiah. Right? Don't be like Jehoiakim. Don't be like Ahab. Don't be like King Saul. Don't be like these men, man. You have men that are righteous examples. Josiah is a righteous example. Hezekiah is a righteous example. Certain traits of Solomon are righteous. David is a righteous example. Right? Certain men, Jehoshaphat has certain righteous traits. There are certain things that Most High didn't like about him. Right? You got to study these things, man. Right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 1. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse number 1. It reads, a wise judge will instruct his people. This is Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Right? Meaning you have things set up. Right? That's like you brothers that are over cities. And again, it's for brothers outside the body, brothers in the body, whoever. You up and coming leaders and brothers that are, striving. Right? And you never know when it's your time to be called, man. Elisha didn't know when the mantle was going to be thrown on him. David wasn't sitting up there, man, I can't wait to be the king of Israel. Hey, David was doing what he stayed focused on the job the Most High gave him. Right? So a lot of brothers, they looking to be the leader. The Most High, Moses wasn't looking to be a leader. Peter wasn't looking to be a leader. David was out being a shepherd, man, defending the flock. Peter was a fisherman. Moses was doing God knows what in Midian, man. Just doing God knows what. And the Most High called those men. Right? So don't look to be a leader. That's the problem with a lot of brothers. I remember a brother asked me, I'll never forget. This when we first started the Atlanta camp. Now, needless to say, this brother isn't in the body no more for reasons I won't mention. But the brother said, how can I be the general? Right? Now, at that time, we didn't even have, the camp wasn't even large enough for us to even have a rank like general. How can I be the general? Brother, you just come on, brother. We just did the groundbreaking. You just kind of came in this thing. You still, you're still trying to figure this thing out. Right? So brothers shouldn't be worried about how to be a general. Should be worried about how to get the kingdom and how to serve your brother. Right? And if the Most High give you a title, the most, because that comes to the Most High too. The Most High deals with rank. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it in the Bible. Yeah, over righteous, unlearned men. I don't know. Rank ain't in the Bible. Where's that at? I just do. Well, the Most High has captains. Joab is called the general of the Lord, man. When you read the scriptures, or the general of the host, you have officers of thousands, right? For brothers get simple. But nevertheless, it reads, a wise judge will instruct his people. So there's going to be a level of guidance. He's going to have vision, right? A wise judge or leader, he has vision. He has an end game. He has something that he wants to achieve. He has goals that are going to benefit the body. And he has plans on how he could build up the flock. That should be the mind of you, a lot of brothers, man. Right? That things have to be well ordered. It reads, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Right? And you see that, like I use the example of sports all the time. You see that in sports, man. They say the team takes on the personality of their coach. So if you got like a hard-nosed coach, he's a defensive guy, and you kind of see that on the players, right? They develop themselves to like a defensive team, right? Same thing if you're a weed smoking, slothful, never on time leader. What do you think the people what do you think they're going to find acceptable? They're only going to find acceptable what you set up and show is acceptable. And they're only going to despise the things that they see that their leader despises. That's everything. That's at the workplace. If you start to notice that your supervisor don't care about you showing up on time, and guess what? Are you going to really show up on time? Are you going to care? No. If he cares about that, by default, you have to care about that. If he cares about a project being done and put on his desk, a portfolio every Monday, and he press you out for it, and guess what? You care about that now. You know? So whatever spirit the leader is, that spirit is going to befall the congregation, his cares, the expectations, right? Particular standards. And again, if you're wicked, man, if you're a wicked, ungodly man, and you accept all manner of buffoonery in the congregation, then don't be surprised when you get buffoonery, man. Verse number 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah, like King Saul, man, he told the people, nobody can eat or drink until I'm avenged of my enemies. Well, he destroyed the people, man. And they start eating stuff with blood in it, and they was freaking off. Right? You had kings that made Israel naked, spiritually speaking. Don't destroy the people, man. You're giving them secret books and different doctrines. You're sowing discord. You're saying at the feast day who can get drunk, who can take the most shots and get drunk. You're destroying everybody, man. You got the women mixed in with the men mixed in with the women. There's no boundaries. There's no order. There's no structure. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. So if you're not profitable, the Most High is going to remove you. And in due time, he's going to set up a brother that is profitable, right? That's what the Most High does, right? All throughout the scriptures. It happens all the time. It happens every day, man. Right? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Right? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter. Actually, it's like I want additions of Esther. Right? I want additions of Esther, chapter 16. This is additions of Esther, chapter 16, and verse number 1. Now, this is the king Artaxerxes writing to, the men of his empire, his province, the 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. And he's given them the insight. He's giving them the insight, Salakia, about what happened with Haman and Mordecai and things of that nature. But when you read this, you have to, look at it from a position of leadership. You brothers that are leaders, man. Right? And listen to what the Most High put on his spirit to write. Right? This wisdom addition to Esther 16 and 2. Salakia, many, the more often they are honored with the great bounty of they're gracious princes, the more proud they are waxing. And sometimes that happens. The more you honor a brother and exalt a brother, the more proud he get. Right? He start feeling himself. His head. You give a brother a position to bring the camp signs. Right here, you bring the camp. Yeah, I'm the camp sign man. Move, move, move. You get out the way. He's shoving brothers out the way. He set up the signs. I bring the camp signs. Y'all won't have these without me. How we going to teach without me? Right? How we going to feed the flock without me? You start getting proud, man. Right? That happens all the time. Brothers, they let authority go to their head. Their chest be walked out. They start pointing, directing. You know, the Lord said, the more proud they are waxing, and endeavor to hurt not our subjects only, but not being able to bear abundance, do take in hand to practice also against those that do them good. And you got men that are set up who put harm. Let's say you a king, you set up a prince. You think that prince is going to help your empire or your kingdom, but he's a wicked, ungodly demon. And he end up practicing evil in the congregation or the city. He'll turn the whole city against the king. He'll starve the entire city. He'll sow discord. And the king is the one that put him in that position. Verse number 4. So you got to watch out, right? You brothers that are leaders, about brothers that you put up in different offices, you got to be mindful of the spirit of those men, right? And the Lord said in 1 Timothy, the 5th chapter, lay hands suddenly on no man, right? Meaning what? Don't be quick to put a brother in authority. If you got to bear that office and take that time for a while, do it. Don't just put a brother in the office just because it's an empty office. Sometimes you have to bear that office or have another brother bear that office or do something that's wise and not burdensome to everybody, but still efficient, right? You have to make those decisions or reach out to counsel so those decisions can be made for you, right? Through grace. Otherwise, you'll put a brother in authority and all hell breaks loose, right? Verse number 4. And take not only thankfulness away from among men, but also lift it up with the glorious words of lewd persons that were never good. They think to escape the justice of God that seeth all things and hateth evil. Oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs have caused many that are in authority to be partakers of innocent blood and hath enwrapped them in remediless calamities. Now he's really talking about Haman, right? What he's saying is, I shouldn't have put Haman in authority. He got that. That's not my fault. I didn't mean for that to happen, right? That letter being sent out to destroy all of the Jews and all of the provinces, I didn't know that. I got tricked. He made me a partaker of innocent blood and calamities through his fair speech. That's what he's saying. That whole situation, I apologize. This is what the king is saying. It's not my fault. I didn't know what was going on. This demon, this Edomite, this is what a Persian is saying. An Elamite, man. He said, I shouldn't have put this. What he's saying is, I should have put this Edomite in power. He beguiled me and all hell break loose. Salakia. Right? And sometimes that happens, man. Right? You put a brother in authority to manage an office or the affairs of the camp or the congregation. He end up getting everybody jammed up. Makes everybody jammed up, man. Y'all watch out for those brothers. You put a brother in a position of authority, and then the brother, he's sowing discord behind the scenes. He's bringing doctrines. He's committing adultery. He's encouraging fornication. And now whoever's over that, now they got to deal with this matter of innocent blood, right? And calamities. Verse number 6. Beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of their lewd disposition, the innocency and goodness of princes. So the king is saying he beguiled me with his lies. He had his own agenda. He played me, right? I'm a good prince. I want the best for my kingdom, but this demon played me. So as a leader, you gotta You got to watch everybody. You got to watch everybody. Literally everybody, man. You know? Because spirits can hop on anybody. Right? So, and also watch brothers that ain't sincere. You can look at the spirit of a brother. That brother, he not sincere, man. He in a position of leadership, but he only want that position to tell brothers what to do. Right? Or to lay out judgment. Or to walk with his head up and his chest out. And that brother, he gonna get you jammed up, man. You better get that brother out that office, because he's going to destroy everything. Verse number 7. Now ye may see this as we have declared, not so much by ancient histories as ye may, if ye search what hath been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of them that are unworthily placed in authority. This is a mean precept right here, man. I'm going to read that again. Addition to Esther 16:7. Now, ye may see, now this is the king speaking. A lot of these kings, even though they were heathen, they ruled kingdoms. Right? Now, the Most High set them up to rule, but the Most High gave them understanding to rule a kingdom. How do you think the Persian Empire lasted for hundreds of years? Through the wisdom of those kings. These ancient kings, they know order. They know structure. They're not just guys sitting around with a loincloth on. And these guys had crowns in their heads, man. These Persian kings, these Babylonian kings, these kings knew how to govern a kingdom. So what he's saying, even though he's a heathen, the Most High put that in his spirit to how to govern that kingdom. Right? So it reads, now ye may see this, as we have declared, not so much by ancient authorities as ye may, if ye search what hath been done, it's like what hath been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of them that are unworthily placed in authority. He said, look, he's really talking about Haman. See what this demon did, right? But you got brothers that are unworthily placed in authority. They have no position being in an office, right? And you may not realize it at time, but then eventually it'll come out like, man, this guy, he's just holding on to the title, right? Like this brother, he's the treasurer, but he just holds money, right? He doesn't do anything. He has no ideas. He has no vision. This guy, he's a captain. He has no leadership skills, no qualities. But why is this guy in his office? He's unworthily placed in authority. Let's get this guy out this office, man. And let's put a brother in there that could do the right job and benefit the body. If there's a brother that's just holding on to an office and it's unprofitable and it's doing more harm than good, make the call. Hey, you know, a lot of these guys, when you watch baseball, right? I use a lot of sport. I played a lot of sports in the world, right? So the point is, you got these pitchers, right? In baseball. I didn't play baseball, but I know about baseball, right? The Lord said, be not ignorant in anything, in a great matter or a small. Why do you know about baseball? You should only know about the scriptures. That's not. Look, you got these pitchers, right? They be on a mound. These guys, man, they're supposed to throw strikes. These guys, they might give out 3 runs in the first inning. Now, the manager of the baseball team, he might bear with him. He's sitting up there, right? And he's watching this guy, man. He's watching the pitcher. He's chewing his damn sunflower. He's spitting them out. He in the damn dugout. He's watching this guy give up all these home runs. So now it's the 3rd inning or the 4th inning, right? And he got a few strikeouts, so the manager might leave him in the game, right? But the 5th inning come in, man, and he start giving up more home runs. He don't have that same fire on his pitch. He's sweating. He getting nervous, right? The game is on the line. And what is that manager going to do in the 5th inning? He's going to get that pitcher out the game. He's going to, and that's when you see that walk. You see that manager. He walk out to the pitcher's mound, man. And that pitcher, he already know what's about to happen. It's not a secret. Why is he walking out to the mound? What's going to happen? He know he going to punch his ticket. So this guy, he'll walk out to the mound, and the camera, he'll put his glove up to his mouth. He'll tell this guy, get out the damn game, right? and he'll get him out the game, man. And you'll see this guy warming up in the dugout, throwing these pitches, man. And they'll put this guy in. So you got to make, the point is you got to make that call. Right? If he giving up runs, make the call. Now you might bear it with a guy, because he's, he might, you got to judge every matter. It's a case by case matter. Right? There's a lot that goes with it. But when you got to make the call, make the call. Because if you don't make the call, you leave that pitch in the game, everything's done with. It's over with. Make the call sometimes. Right? And the king regrets. He regrets that he didn't remove Haman from that position. If only he saw it sooner, he would have been got Haman out the way. That's his sentiment. Men are unworthily placed in authority. Men that are in positions of leadership, they are unworthily placed in authority. They only care about themselves, money, pride, vanity, lust. And we must take care for this addition to Esther 16:8. This is a beautiful chapter. And we must take care for the time to come that our kingdom may be quiet and peaceable for all men. And that should be your goal. Your goal is not to have a brother suspended every week. You shouldn't rejoice in that, man. Or brothers getting kicked out the camp, right? And brothers getting scattered abroad through diverse doctrines. That's nothing to glory in as a leader. You want peace and quiet in the kingdom, huh? Look at the days when Solomon ruled. You had Judah and Israel eating and drinking and being merry, dwelling under their fig tree. Right? And when you have peace in the kingdom, and sometimes, me and the brother too, we'll talk about that, man. We'll say, damn, we haven't had no counsels or nothing. No brother got removed in the wild. Brother ain't got suspended, right? And all praise to Yahweh Shai. When we have those moments, then you have the moments where we say, there's always something, right? This brother did this, or this sister did this, and we got to figure out what happened. When you have those moments, especially you brothers know what I'm talking about, and you brothers that may be watching over other congregations, you know what I'm talking about, man. It's beautiful when you have quiet and peace, right? And how do you do that? Let's read the next verse. Both by changing our purposes and always judging things that are evident with more equal proceeding. So meaning you have to make adjustments. Changing our purposes, meaning you may have to make an audible. You got to change the plate. You got to go off script sometimes. You got to see the situation that's hand. That's why it says you got to judge things that are evident. When it's right in front of you, make the call. What does evident mean? Evident meaning you can see it. I believe that goes back to the Latin e meaning out and video meaning to see. So things that you could clearly see out in front of you. Right? Let's see if I'm right on that. Right? Evident, plainly seen or perceived or obvious. X meaning out, right? And videre meaning to see. Right? That's what it means. So things that are plain and right in front of you, you judge those things with equal proceedings, meaning with equity. All right. So let's move on. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. Right, Salakia. I got a few more precepts I want to get into. Right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Right, this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, and verse number 1. It reads, O God of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made. And that goes back to Genesis, right? Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, right? And order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. So brothers are set up to judge and order things with equity and righteousness. If you are in a position of leadership and you don't know what equity is, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. If you don't know what righteousness is, that's a huge problem. It's off. It's actually off. If you don't know what righteousness is, brother, Ask you, well, what's righteousness? Well, hold on, let me find out. I don't know what that is. Right? Hold on, brother. You're in a position of leadership. Well, what's equity? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Right? If you don't know what equity is, you might have a lot of problems going on. Right? Equity is judging things and restoring balance, making decisions. That's what judging things is, making decisions to restore balance and things that are lacking, things that may be superfluous, meaning too much, and things that may be lacking. You have to make decisions to rid the things that are superfluous, right? And the things that are lacking, and have balance and justice in your kingdom, right? If somebody stole 4 oxen, equity says, hold on, you have to restore that brother X amount of fold, right? For the oxen that you took from him, right? That's equity. Equity is judging things, restoring and offsetting the balance, right? Or the adjustment, rather. If somebody committed adultery, equity is, here's adultery, right? On a scale, right? You equity, hey, you stone that person with stones in the ancient world. That's how you provide equity. All right. If somebody was a drunkard and a gluttonous son that didn't take correction, right? And the parents are grieved, how do you restore equity? You bring that man out and you stone that guy, right? So you have to judge things with equity. If there's something going on in your respective congregation that's lacking, you have to restore that. If there's too much going on, if all hell is breaking loose, one brother has too many positions and too many offices, and whatever's going on, you have to restore that, right? And you have to make those decisions with an upright heart. Now, here's what Solomon said: give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. So every brother should be praying for wisdom and discernment to judge righteously. For I, thy servant, and son of thine handmaid, am a feeble person and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. Which means brothers don't know everything. So you need the Most High to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so you can make decisions that are profitable to the congregation, right? That's what brothers that are in leadership should be praying for every day. There's no excuse, right? Because the decisions you make, you want them to be acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Shah, right? That these are the calls that you have to make, and you want these decisions to be pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. So you want the Most High to give you discernment to do such things, right? Let's go to, there's a lot of precepts I want to get right now, but let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 14. Right, this is First Maccabees. I'm gonna read. Let's see. This is verse number 4. I'm gonna read 4 and I'm gonna jump down about Simon. Right, one of our mightiest forefathers. Right, First Maccabees 14:4. As for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon. Remember, we just read that. You want your kingdom to be quiet. You don't want a whole bunch of councils, tumults, suspensions, riots, all hell breaks loose every day. If that's happening in your city or your camp, and you brothers over in other camps, right, that may not be in WF5, if that's happening, you need to really examine yourself and look deep and see what's going on, right? But the days of Simon, everybody was content. Judgment was perfect, so everybody was quiet. For he sought the good of his nation, and such wise as that evermore his authority and honor pleased them well. And that should be your main goal, to seek the good of your nation, right? What good can I do for the body? What good can I do for my nation, right? How can I bring my nation out the rubble? That's what Nehemiah did, man. He, in Nehemiah, the 2nd chapter, which is one of my favorite chapters of self-examination, Nehemiah examined the entire city, right? From the dragon well to the dung gate, he went by night. He saw the walls that were broken down and burnt down, and he started coming up with a plan, right? To rebuild and restore the glory of his nation. But that should always be on brothers' minds, man. What more can we do to build the nation, right? The elect. of Yahweh Shmi Yahushua. It reads, in such wise that his honor and authority please them well. You got brothers that have authority, but the people under them are not pleased. They hate that guy. He's a tyrant. He's a nigga, right? He takes all of our money. He oppresses us. Verse number 5. And as he was honorable in all his acts, so in this, that he took Joppa for a haven and made an entrance to the isles of the sea. See that? And enlarged the bounds of his nation and recovered the country and gathered together a great number of captives and had the dominion of Gazara and Bethsura and the tower, out of the which he took all uncleanness. Neither was there any that resisted him. That should be your mind, man. Enlarging the boundaries of your people, putting a spirit of comfort on the people, so they're not in straits, right? So you're not living in oppression and being afflicted. And he took a great number of captives. You got brothers that are taken captive by sin. There are different spirits that may be going on in your city, right? If you notice that you got 5 brothers, they all committed adultery in a span of 5 days, and that's a spirit in the camp. And the number one place you look at is the man in the mirror. Then you look at the men that are directly maybe under you, right? And then you look at the estate of the flock, and you get rid of that spirit, man. You may do a lesson on adultery, right? You may have a counsel, seek out what's going on. You might find out another brother that was in authority was committing adultery, and they put a spirit on the brothers, right? Maybe there was a doctrine going on. You got to search that matter out and free people from that demon, right? That's a spirit that you have to have, looking for the welfare of the flock. Let's go to 1 Maccabees. And Simon is a beautiful example, man. He's a beautiful example of leadership and selflessness. That's a great chapter to read. Just like addition to Esther 16, 1 Maccabees 14, these are beautiful chapters. This is 1 Maccabees 3:43. They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. And again, that goes back to 1 Maccabees 14. This should be your vision and goal. Let us restore the decayed estate of our people, right? And that's your focus. Now, you have to make sure that you and yourself, you're right. But again, selflessness takes precedence in the world of leadership, right? And the sheep, being a shepherd of the flock, have to be the number one priority. And you have to look at what's decaying, what's breaking down. If you got a camp and you got brothers that show up late, they 40 minutes late every day, you got to look at that, man, and restore that. You have to put certain procedures, instructions, and counters in place to prevent that from happening again. And then you have to look at, and this is what great companies do. These great companies that you see that went bankrupt for $2 billion, and then 5 years later, they're making $2 billion a day, or, they were closing all these stores, but all of a sudden they bounced back. What they did was they look at what you call a root cause analysis. They have something called deep diving, right? They pay men who have analytical minds to investigate the cause of why they lost $2 billion. And they'll say, look, hey, this guy, he was moving money around funny, or, our marketing strategy wasn't good, or this happened. And they'll attack the root cause. Come up with a plan to have that never happen again. Because if you just restore the decayed estate of the people, but you don't identify why it got decayed in the first place, what's going to happen? They're going to decay all over again. You have to understand why things happen. You don't just fix a flat tire and not know how your tire got flat. Okay, did I roll over a damn nail? Did I drive in that parking lot with glass in it? What did I do? right? You got to figure this thing out, right? So you have to have, and I'm gonna pull that up. What is root cause analysis? Is a process of identifying the underlying causes of a problem and developing solutions. It's a more effective way to solve problems than just treating symptoms. You don't want to treat symptoms all day, man. Right? Dude got the sniffles and he coughing. You give him a cough drop. They ain't, hey, look, brother, why do you have a cold? Right? Well, I was outside all day and I wasn't eating right. And well, now you kind of figured out why he had the cold. Okay, well, brother, look here, eat this, take these herbs, do this, and make sure you layer up when you out there. Now the brother don't get the cold no more. Don't just get a brother a cough drop, right? And say, I'll pray for you. So let's move on. Right? You want to restore the decayed state of the people and understand why did they become and how did they become decayed, right? Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse number 18, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse number 18. It reads, let's see, this is what I want. 10 and 8. It reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So that goes back into what? If you don't know, or if you're making ill-advised decisions and your judgments are off as a leader, then the Most High is going to take that position away from you and give it to another. Unrighteous dealings, right? Not treating brothers fairly, for lack of better terms, oppressing brothers, pride, injuries. You're putting harm and excessive burdens on brothers, and you're robbing brothers, man. The Most High is going to speedily take that away from you. He's going to speedily take that away from you. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 2 and 19, right? This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 19. This is Paul writing to the church of Thessalonica in Greece. Here's what he said. For what is our hope, our joy, or crown of rejoicing? Are not even yea in the presence of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach at his coming. For yea are our glory and joy. And this is heavy, and I love this precept because Paul understood that he already had the understanding, he had the knowledge, he had the breakdowns, he had the talents, he had the gifts, but he didn't joy in that. His joy was that the church was on fire. His joy was that the church was in order. His joy was that the church was serving the Most High. That was his joy. See, a lot of brothers get joy in how people praise them. They get off on that, right? A lot of people get joy on titles. A lot of people get joy in their own diverse vanities, man. But when you're in a position of leadership, you should be joyous when the camp or the congregation is zealous and on fire, right? When everybody's on time, when everybody's diligent, when everybody's studying, when everybody's praying, when everybody's on fire, when the work is being done, when brothers are traveling, right? When the camps are getting built up. That should be your joy, not the fact that you just got $10,000 in your bank account from the camp. You're waiting on 10,000 more. And Paul is essentially said, I want to have no joy if I'm in the kingdom and you're not there with me. That's what this means. Are not even yea in the presence of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach at his coming. So that's like Paul getting beamed up in a chariot and everybody turning up, and he kind of got his head down, and they asked Paul, why your head down? He said, because the church isn't here with me, right? The sheep aren't here with me, because he labored and he loved the church, right? That's what this means. For yea, our glory and joy. So our glory is not in what we know, it's what we do with what we know for those who don't know, which is the church, right? And when you see the fruits of that, That's a joyous thing for you, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, right? Let's go to Isaiah 56. You want to love the church and put the church on the forefront, man, right? And everything you do, your life, and I say it all the time, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, the truth is the centerpiece, right? And you have to make your life revolve around this truth. You have to have your life revolve around this truth. You can't make the truth revolve around your life. You can't insert the truth into your life and try to make it fit. You got to fit into this, right? You got to fit your life into this knowledge. And that's the problem with a lot of brothers, man. They want to lead their life and put the truth in there where it fits in. And that's how you fall. Now, if you're in a position of leadership, there's another variable put into place, right? You not only do you make the truth revolve around, not only does your life revolve around the truth, meaning it's knowledge and learning and studying, but also when you have a church, your life revolves around the church. The church is the focal piece. It's the centerpiece. It's the big deal. It's the main thing. That's your woman, right? That's your rib on a spiritual level, you know? That's the church. That's your old lady. That's your main squeeze. And whatever you want to say, man, you got to make sure the church is taken care of. You might have your actual woman, but this your first love. Right? Isaiah chapter 56. So everything you do in life, it should revolve around the church. See, a lot of brothers too, man, they'll make decisions, but they do it for their own benefit and it end up hindering the church. Right? If you're in a position of leadership and you say, you know what, I want to get my CDL and be on the road, brother, you're not a leader. Because if you are on the road for days on end, and you can never see the flock and see the church, you made a bad decision. Right? If you said I'm getting a job, but they require me to travel to Singapore and to damn Indonesia, and I see the church, one day out the year, brother, you did that for money, brother. And that wasn't a good decision to make. If you say, you know what, I want to get me 4 other wives, and you're in a position of leadership, that was selfish. So the decisions you make have to be, you may have to suffer, right? At some level, but you made the church your primary focus. And when you make the church your primary focus, the Lord is going to take care of you, man. But when you follow your own vanities, you'll find yourself in a lot of jams. You've been in a lot of jams, and things aren't going to be easy for you, And I've seen that through experience. And I it's just something I could speak candidly about, right? If you take on 10 hobbies, that's selfish, brother. You want to learn how to fly a kite and, learn how to make stuffed crust pizza all day and, figure out how to make chicken nuggets from scratch and learn how to go bowling. And, you're just taking on too much, brother. You want to make music too. And you want to do this. You can't do all that, brother. And you got this rec league you in when you play a basketball, and you also on your work kickball team and your softball league, and you in fantasy football, brother. You ain't gonna have time to do all that. I'm not saying you can't have stuff like that going on, but your mind should be on the church. Isaiah chapter 56 and verse number 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. You don't want to be an ignorant, dumb, sleeping, lazy watchman, right? You can't see what's going on in the church. Everything's a big surprise to you. You're always scratching your head. You got your thumb in your mouth. You're playing video games all day. You love to sleep spiritually. You don't read. You love to go back in the world. You can't be Brother, that's not for you. That's not for you. And I always tell brothers, if you're in a position of leadership and you in over your head and you feel like that, you better say something so brothers can give you the help you need, or put somebody in there that can do it. Don't crash the ship and let it sink. Right? You got guys, man, that I was talking to a brother about this a few weeks ago, man. You know, the brother said, I'm good to go. You know, I feel like I can get out there, X, Y, and Z. I said, you need to, you know, take some time to get your spirit right, man. No, I'm good. Take some time to get your spirit right. A lot of times brothers think that they are profitable when they're unprofitable, right? If you got a guy that played basketball, he broke his arm, I could play, coach, put me in. If you, and the coach say, all right, we'll put you in. This man, he's going to destroy the whole team. The chemistry of the team, he can't dribble, he can't shoot. He broke his arm, get him out the game. Put the other guard in. Put him in. You know? So if you're in a position of leadership and it's detrimental to the body, you got to speak up and say something. Man. Don't be in there with a broken arm, right? And everybody is not profitable to the body, right? Everything's not profitable to the body. Brothers and spirits. It reads, yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain from his quarter. Come, yea, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with a strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So brothers' lives are cyclical, right? And repetitive, right? They're full of lust and vanities and pride, and they do the same thing over and over, right? You can't look to your own way, right? And be in this thing for yourself. The church has to be your focus. You can't be a discontent brother financially, right? And you seek out matters that hinder you from being able to take care of the church, right? The Lord said a mean estate is not always to be content. Poverty and adversity, life, death, and riches, they come of the Lord, right? All things of Yahweh Shemyahushua. So if you're in a position of leadership, don't put yourself in a situation where you can't take care of the church. Rather that's financially, you're taking on all these jobs, rather that's extracurricular activities, rather that's you heaping up wives to yourself, whatever the case may be. You have to live that's what I'm looking for, a modest life in a position of leadership. Live in modesty, right? Live in modesty, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, right? Run out of time. Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse number 28. But those things, Slakia, 2 Corinthians 11 and 28. Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. And this is Paul. He gave a list of all of the things that were signs of his apostleship, right? And the affliction he went through. And he said, on top of catching the hell, getting beat with rods, getting beat with stripes, being perils and by my countrymen, getting thieves and hunger. Besides all of the hell I catch externally, I deal with internal hell, right? Beside the things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. So caring for the church should be a daily thought. What more can we do as a body? What's lacking in the church? What's lacking in the congregation, right? What things can we improve on? What things are strong that we have to sustain, that it doesn't fall away? Because you can have something strong in the body, but if you don't sustain it and check on it, it'll fall away, right? And the house will drop it through. So what things on a day-to-day basis, you brothers that are leaders, you have to look at that, man. And don't take things that go well for granted, right? Don't take things that go well for granted. You may not make it a high priority to focus on it, but you still want to look at it. You know, these are the things that you have to analyze, and that should be on your mind as a leader. It says daily the care of all the churches, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 11. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse number 12. And the land which Yahweh, Ba'ashem Shai, thy God, careth for, the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. So the Most High, he's always watching over the sheep, right? He's the ultimate watchman, right? Read the Psalms, man. He's the ultimate watchman. He's the Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade. The watchman watcheth in vain. The Lord keep the city, paraphrasing greatly. Now, you as a leader, this should be in your mind, right? Instead of the land, it should be the congregation, right? And your eyes have to always be upon it from the beginning of the year, even until the end of the year, right? So when it's a harvest and when it's not a harvest, when things are cold, then it's the wintertime, you're still caring. The Lord didn't leave Israel in the wintertime and they just froze to death. And he popped back up in the springtime and everything's all. No, he was there in adversity for Israel. He heard their groaning. He heard their sighing in captivity, right? He sent them saviors. The Most High was there when they prospered. The Most High was there in the days of Josiah, the days of Solomon. The Most High is always there. That's what shepherds and leaders do. That's what kings do. From the beginning of the year to the end of the year, to keep their foot on the gas, and their eyes are always upon the city. What's lacking? What's needed? What more can we do? What visions do we have? What goals can we do? What more can we accomplish? What brothers are lacking? Who needs help? Who needs prayer? Who needs counsel? Are we fasting? Is our minds right? What are we doing? Right? That should be your mind through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. Let's go to Nehemiah. Right? I may not have time to get all the precepts I wanted to get. This is Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse number 14. This is a beautiful account right here. Nehemiah 5 and 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even unto the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, that is 12 years, I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor. So the bread of the governor was a certain portion, right? That was expected for the governor to eat. And it came from the people. The people had to labor and toil and gather in the wheat and the barley and give it to the governor, right? Nehemiah said, I don't need the people laboring and sweating and giving me all the hardcore, hard-earned bread, right? I'm not going to eat that, man. I labor for myself. I work with my own hands. I get my own bread, right? Setting the example, right? Paul said that we labor with our own hands, right? But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, meaning everybody else that came before Nehemiah, they forced the people to cough up the bread, right? And had taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bear rule over the people, but so did not I, because of the fear of God. Yeah, Solomon did that, man. Solomon had 12 officers over all the land, and everybody was chargeable to the king's household. He had like 12 fat oxen and fatted calves and all this, man, roebucks, and he was eating good. And the people, that was one of the factors that led to the division of the nation. The people were tired of the oppression, right? You don't want to lay heavy burdens on the people, man, right? Heavy burdens on the people. Look, brother, you know what, man? We need you, to fast 4 days out the week. And, every day you're going to have to read 12 chapters. And on top of that, we're going to need $40, every week. Hey, man, that's grievous. Don't be grievous to brothers. Be merciful, love compassion, love justice and judgment, right? Reading on. Yea, also, I continued in the work of this wall. Let me read that again. Yea, also, I continued in the work of this wall. Neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. So he wasn't worried about filling his belly up. I gotta buy me some land. I gotta do this for myself. I gotta make sure I'm right. I'm good. What about me? He said, look, I'm continuing in the work of the wall. I may not have no land yet, but this is what I went into earlier through the Spirit of the Most High. You focus on the church. And then yourself. Now you want to make sure you may not be living the best, but that's fine. And you might have the opportunity to live better. But if it conflicts and compromises with you being taking care of the church, you might want to reevaluate the decisions that you make in life. Right? You might want to think about that. It's like you being in a position of leadership. You know what? I want to join the army, right? Because I heard that they can give me this amount of money and pay for me to go back to school. You'll be a damn fool, right? The Most High is going to take you out of that position. You done joined the army because they can pay for you to go back to school. Brother, you're over the church now. That's your focus. We're not in the spirit of buying land, man. We're not saying you can't actually buy land and take care of your house and stuff like that. But we're speaking about what do you prioritize as a leader, right? Verse number 17. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, beside those that came unto us among the heathen that are about us. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me. And once in 10 days, store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon the people. So we had 150 people that ate with him. He said, if I'm going to eat the stuff that they're supposed to give me, that's for everybody, right? I see how y'all living. The bondage is heavy upon the people, man. So I'm going to make sure the people are taken care of, right? He saw the bondage heavy. He saw the spirits that were on the church. So he was selfless, man, right? He said, think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. And that's a confident statement for you to say, think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done, not for myself, not for my belly, not for my pockets, but for all that I have done for this people. So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashima Mashiach Kwamalak Yabashai. This is a message to you leaders, man, right? We're in the last days, man. This is crunch time. Make sure brothers are overseeing the flock. Make sure brothers put the church as their priority and they focus. And you don't make decisions that harm the church or that compromise your integrity or compromise the time that you have to deal with the church through prayer, through fasting, through teaching, through counsels, and all things that are beneficial to the body. So with that, we're going to close up again, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Mashiach Kwamalak Yabashai. Most High willing you were edified. Kwam Yashab. Shalom.